Hey y'all, it's Shelly. I just wanted to share with you my first art journal. Art journaling is something I never thought that I would really be into, but I have to say that it's really been something that I have come to enjoy a lot. When I first started, I kind of really didn't know what to start with. I didn't know where to start. I started watching a lot of videos just to see how people did things, and I mean, there's just some amazing people that do things with art journal, and I'm just like, wow, how did you do that? So, or how did you think of it? So, I wanted to share with you the first one that I did, and I'm not really going to spend a whole lot of time on it. Explaining all the techniques that I did. Um, I'll try to run through a little bit of the list of items that I used. But this is my front cover. My craft room is red, black, and white with splashes of gray or silver. So I wanted it to be where I could leave it out. And I just used the little book that it came in, like upcycled it and altered it a little bit to be able to just leave it out in my room. Um, this is a metal piece from the Fab Scraps metal filigree box, and I just painted it red. Actually, I gessoed it, then painted it red. This is a piece that I made from a mold from a metal piece by the Paper Studio. It's like a large keyhole. I painted it. Actually, no, it was white. I painted it, just kind of dry brushed it with gray, then brushed a little bit of white over it. This is a flower that I colored with shimmers, blings in the little containers. These are two white flowers with red tips. I really couldn't tell you where I got them. These two roses right here are ribbon roses, and then this is a little gray butterfly that I got from Monica, who is scrapping the number for My Boys here on YouTube. And this is a key that I got from Joann's forever ago. So this was my first page, and it says beautifully broken. And I used some red paper, a music note stamp, several Tim Holtz stamps, and paint on the background and distress stain. And then here in the middle, I have some of that aluminum tape. I embossed it with the Distress Diamonds I can't talk, embossing folder, and then just ran some black paint over it. Um, and then I used some Tattered Angels black glimmer mist. I'm not really sure what the exact color is. And I stamped on this with StazOn ink in jet black. This was a different technique using oil pastels. Um, I wasted two, not one, count them, two Pitt pens on this page. And I learned that if you use oil pastels, do not use your Pitt pen on it because it will cake it up and you won't be able to use it anymore. This phrase, open your eyes, is something that I need to do with a few things in my life. Clouds I did with acrylic paint, white, and the rest of it is pretty much the oil pastels and the Pitt pen. I did use a Sharpie, but it also got caked. After I ruined the two Pitt pens, I ruined another Sharpie. And I also used a brown scrapbooking marker that is really old by Susan Branch. And when I added matte medium over this to seal it, it kind of streaked up the page a little bit. I also used a graphite pencil, so that was that one. This was my next one. I used a couple stencils by Prima or Mask, whichever you want to call it. A couple of different butterfly stamps by Just Right Stampers or Stamps. And then this one down here was by Kaisercraft, but it really didn't turn out. You really can't make out all the image. This was a tag, and I just cut it in half, and this was a dollar stamp from Joann's. It says, may your travels lead you to some amazing places. Then this is the Tim Holtz tape, and I just rubbed off where the word journey is. and I covered the rest of it with the Distress Stain. And that's how I did this background. I did it with Distress Stain, the Dusty Concord, and then I used Seedless Preserves over here, but I just used the ink pad because I don't have the Distress Stain in the Seedless Preserves. Then I used some StazOn black ink, jet black, because I wanted to spritz this with some glimmer spray, and I used the Lindy Stamp Gang Royal Amethyst Fire. And I know if you've watched a lot of my videos lately, you're like, what? Because that's what I've been using a lot. The next page was my first use of gelatos, and I have to tell you, I love gelatos now. I have a black, white, silver, and gray, or silver and gold gelato. I have other colors, but they're in the gel sticks. I can tell a little bit of a difference in the blending. When you blend them, the gelatos are just like flawless. You can't even see where you just colored with them. On the gel sticks, I found that they don't blend as well. I thought they were the same thing, but Fiskars says that they are different. So I guess Fiskars would know since they make them. I used the white gelato, the silver in the middle, a Pitt pen, and the background, the blue and the purple, is chalks. Some chalks I have had forever. I really didn't care for this background, so I just covered it up as much as I could. I used the Pitt pen to doodle. The stems are from my graphite pencil. The next one is just all doodling. I used a Pitt pen and a Sharpie. And I have to say, this was so much fun. There's just no reason to it. You just do what you feel. And I just love that. So then I done another one of them. And this was just, more doodling, whatever I wanted to do. And the next one, this was my attempt at using the old book paper. I tore it all up, then I distressed some of the edges with black soot. I used a new stamp by Bo Bunny. These little, like, it almost looks like hay stacks around the edge. I used that, and then this lace stamp is by Kaisercraft. These pink, like, grid, almost like spots are a Crafter's Workshop template. And the blue here in the center, it was really crisp, and then I used matte medium over it to seal it, and it kind of washed it a little bit, blurred the edges. It's a Stamper's Best stamp, and it says, "Art washes away from the soul the dust of everyday life," and that's a quote by Picasso. But I really like the way it turned out. I wish I hadn't added the matte medium after I did, and it blurred it a little bit, but that's okay. The next one, this was a background that I made out of the oil pastels. I really didn't like it. This blue that you see was half of the background. I did like that part. But if you can make out these little squigglies up here, this was the part of the page I did not like at all. So I painted it over with red paint, done dry brushing over here to help still have some of the blue. I had some scraps of paper that I done this journaling on, and I used a red tone Distress Stain. I can't remember which one it is. No, I'm sorry. I actually watered down the red paint and tinted it a little bit. It's got a red tint, and then it's darker around the edges. Then when I adhered all that down, I used the blue gelato, the light blue gel stick around the edge of all these three pieces of torn paper. This and this they were wood veneers that I bought from Diana McRae, I believe is her name, off of the scrapyard. I don't believe she's selling them anymore, but I could be wrong. And I just sponged white paint over them, and I dried it with my heat tool, and it gave this really neat color it's almost like it burned some of the paint, and I kind of did that on purpose. And even up here, it's just like bubbled up, and down here it's bubbled. I'm sure you can't pick it up that well on the video, but so I really like the way this one turned out. This one is gel sticks, the background, and I found that when I put these colors down, I tried to blend them with my finger like I would the gelatos, but it still looked like I had just colored it with a crayon. So I went back and I used a wet brush and I just, brushed right over it, and it just smoothed it out real soft and smooth. Um, all of the white places, it's a Crafter's Workshop template, and it's actually two different ones. This is from one, and then all of the rest is from another one. Live for Today. The silver, these two words are out of silver, and I used a silver Pitt pen for that. Outlined them with black, and then when I went over it with matte medium again, it smeared it. So I've learned a lot about the matte medium that is just going to smear some things. I also went around some of the hearts with my black Pitt pen. This is my last one, and it was my test of sprays, like how are they going to work. This is a new Kaisercraft mask that I had. It's new to me anyway. I don't know if it's like a new line, but I just got it like a couple of weeks ago. And it's actually like 4 cogs that are connected together. And I actually sprayed the whole thing and then ended up covering it. And you can't even really see it behind here, but I did spray. There was another cog here and one here. And actually I sprayed another one right there too and ended up covering it up. This over here, there's another Crafter's Workshop template that I used. This one is Graphic 45, and I believe it matches the Steampunk Debutante collection. I've had these forever, and I got them at Michael's a long time ago. And the red spray is one that I made myself. It had hardly any glimmer or glitter in it at all. But it's one I made up myself. And when I was going through the sprays to try this technique out for the art journal, I thought, okay, this is going to end up drying up if I don't use it, because it had gotten really thick. So I just went ahead and used what was left in the bottle. Then I used the blue, it is, excuse me, Sapphire Shimmers Spritz by Shimmers brand. And I just sprayed it up here at the top, and then I sprayed a little bit on the body of the mannequin, whatever you want to call it. Then I let some of it run down, tilted it up, let some of it run down the page. I really like that look. And so that was my, first attempt at the sprays to see how they were going to work together. You really have to be careful with these. As I found out on the back layer that I did, they will get muddy, and so you really have to know how to, like, which ones you can use together, And what I actually did with these was I let the red dry first, and then I just added the blue on top. But if you're using them all wet together, they will get muddy. So that is my last page of my first art journal. If you're an art journaler and you have any suggestions or techniques or tips or anything to share with me, please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I know art journaling is supposed to be more about, the person and just, what you're going through and what you're dealing with or whatever. And then some people's are just totally random, I know, but I would like to hear any feedback you have. And I also wanted to mention that I've just passed 200 subscribers, and I really, really appreciate that, because I haven't really been active a whole lot on YouTube in the past year. I've done what I can, but I've got a lot going on, and I want to do a giveaway. So, you know, even if you don't art journal, a lot of the stuff that I use for art journaling is stuff that I could use for scrapbooking or other crafts. So, stay tuned and watch. I will try. I want to have the giveaway like within the next month. And I do have some things collected. And I want it to be, you know, it's going to be my favorite things that I use a lot, and that I really like a lot. So, and some of it is stuff that's, you know, pretty new to me, and then some of it is, it's probably older stuff, but it's new because it's new to me. So just keep a watch for the giveaway video. And please let me know if you have any comments or any questions either. Like if I can tell you anything. Like I said, I'm so new to art journaling. I don't know that I could help you out a lot, but if you have any questions, I would do my best to try to answer. And especially if it's something I did in the book, I can definitely tell you that. But I hope you have a great night or day, whichever it might be. And comment, subscribe, and let me know what you think.